everybody. So I've got my laptop set up as well for this session. So I'm going to leave my phone here so that it can fit the whole of me in the shot, and then I'm going to have my laptop as well. So if any of you want to say hello in the comments, hello, then I can see you on my laptop and we'll see how that goes. So while we're waiting to get started, hello Hannah, do you guys want to make sure that you've got enough props for this session? So restorative yoga, we use a lot of props, so if you want to get a couple of cushions, I've got bed pillows because I find them a little bit better for this. So a couple of cushions, some blankets. If you've got yoga blocks, great. If you don't, grab some like hardback books. Anything else to make this nicer for you. So light some candles, put some incense on, put some twinkly music on, anything to just make this super chilled. And then I'm just going to check in with the laptop. Cool. Hello Hannah. Great. Cool. Okay. So when you're ready, if you guys want to come to lie down, we're going to start off in Shavasana, and then the first few poses that we're going to do are going to be floor based. So we're going to be lying down on our backs, and then we'll see how we get on. We might come up and do some seated things, but maybe we'll just stay lying down the whole time. So if you've not practiced restorative yoga before, it is a little bit different to yin yoga. So in yin yoga, there's a little bit more effort involved than in restorative yoga. So with this style of yoga, we are aiming to support the body so much that there is absolutely no effort required. Okay, so we use a lot more props in this style. And the idea behind that is a few things. So one, the ability for the body to completely let go and be held is really beneficial for the nervous system, which we need at the moment. So really good for helping to ease stress and tension from the mind as well as the body. Really, really beautiful way to prepare the body for sleep as well. But then from an anatomical point of view, when we prop ourselves up in these positions, our fascia, our soft tissue, our connective tissue can start to lengthen, can start to soften and let go. And that's what we want. Okay, so I invite you to lie down. What I discovered earlier was super, super comfy, was to actually have two pillows stacked on top of each other, and to have them underneath the knees, okay? So if you can have something similar, or if you've got a yoga bolster, use one of those to come under the knees. And then lying down, I'm really going to try hard not to set myself on fire as well. I've lit a lot of candles this evening. So we see. So you're going to come down, bring your body down to the floor, and then however you want to place the arms is fine. I'm going to sit back up because it's a bit easier for me to talk than lying down. So get yourselves comfy. Hello Nikki. Okay, so once you've found that comfortable position, I invite you to close your eyes. I'd like you to take a nice deep breath in with me, in through the nose, and a big audible sigh out the mouth, and then two more like that. We're going to breathe in together, in through the nose, and big exhale, and then next one, inhaling. As you exhale, big sigh, and then move your jaw around. So give your face a little scrunch, move the lips, the mouth, the jaw, and then let everything soften. gently closing the mouth, allowing the back of the tongue to also relax. And then can you begin this process this evening of surrendering? So much of our life, so much of our daily life is spent in that yang energy. So the doing, the action, the fire, the sun. And it's so, so important to balance that with the yin, with the feminine, with the lunar. Giving ourselves permission to rest. So just noticing if there is anything about this pose that feels laboured to you. So are you holding your body in place anywhere? Perhaps it's the back of the shoulders. Perhaps you're tensing up on the back line of your body, so behind the back of the legs, back of the knees. Maybe there's a sense of gripping through the hands or the toes. Can you just let everything go? And if you need to move to do that, if you need to kind of flick the hands or wriggle the toes and let them soften, you do whatever you need to do to find that sense of surrender. And this is what we're going to focus on a lot this evening with each pose, but can you see if you can get these two experiences at the same time? So your body is getting heavier, you're letting go, and then the earth is coming up, or feels as if it's coming up to hold your body in place. So as you let go of control, of doing, then that other aspect of support begins to rise as you feel your body being held in place. So if at the moment you feel like you're having to keep everything together for everybody else, now is your opportunity to let yourself be held, let yourself be supported. Give yourself permission to rest. So I want to share with you a poem to start us off with this evening. So those of you that used to come to my classes at Yogalicious know that I pretty much always bring my Earth Pathways diary with me everywhere, and I always read something beautiful from it. So if we've got time, I'm going to read another one at the end as well. But this one is just beautiful. It's perfect for right now. So as you continue to breathe deeply and let your body soften down onto the mat, just following along with this poem. So it's called Spring Beach Flower. I am opening, expanding past all horizons. All limits dissolve and vanish as the great ocean of forever breaks her wave in my heart. I am connected with love across the world and through time and space and into the pure presence of this moment. My heart is beating, birds are taking flight, and song and possibility is growing in me. Online I read, "This day assists humanity to rise out of the illusion of lack and into the total trust in the Creator, divine love from the source of all, and I am glad." We are all in this together, and as we grow and change and open to the power that we are, and live this new awareness. As we breathe the new, the world will surely change. I am connected in love. So I want you to bring your hands now and rest them onto your body, somewhere that feels nice and comforting for you. It might be one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart. Maybe it's two hands to the heart, two hands to the belly. And just taking the last line of that poem and using it almost as a mantra. I am connected in love. I am connected in love. And then from that mantra, you might like to create your own sankalpa for your practice this evening. So that positive intention that we set at the start of our practice. So you can dedicate to love, to gratitude, to someone particular in your life. We of course have the collective clapping for the NHS, which will happen straight after this class. So you can think about all the people working for a better world. Whatever you want your intention to be, can you breathe into that sankalpa, that good intention? And then from there, we're going to take a full body stretch as best you can in the environment that you're in. I know some people are rolling out their mats in tiny sections of their houses, so as much as you can, full body stretch. Take a little rotation through your wrists and your ankles. And then from this position, so hopefully we've all got that support under the knees. What I'd then like you to do is butterfly the legs, okay? So we're going to be still in this lying down position. I'd like you to take the knees wide and the soles of the feet together. So this is the supported version of reclining goddess. So from there, we're going to take, if it feels okay, arms overhead, grabbing either elbow, and the head is heavy. I want you to once again take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, sigh the breath out the mouth. So again, what I'm going to do each time I've set you up with a pose, I'm just going to come and sit up so that I'm not having to strain my voice too much. But again, going back to this idea of restorative yoga, we do not want to be holding the body in place in this position. So if you need more pillows underneath you for support, maybe you might need a block or a blanket to make that nicer for the back of your head. So finding whatever feels right for your body in this moment. And then focusing on the sensation of opening through the adductors, the inner thighs, all the way into the fascia around your pelvis. And then all the way up into your thoracic area, so rib cage, chest. So as you breathe now, as well as breathing into your belly, can you start to breathe into the space between each rib? So one of the things that happens, we talk about this so much in yoga, when we get stressed, when we're anxious, when we're busy, is we don't breathe the best that we could. So this is one of the biggest benefits of yoga, is this attention that we spend and time that we spend dedicated to the breath. So can you, with each inhale, feel that expansion, feel this movement, 360 degrees of space, and enjoy the experience of breath. So many people in our world struggling to breathe at the moment. Can we really tune in to the appreciation and the gratitude for this breath, for this moment, for this day. And as you exhale, can you let yourself just soften? Feel how the ribs move back in towards your center line. And then we inhale for expansion. If at any point it gets too much to have your arms in this position, and it can do, just bring your arms down by your side, palms of the hands facing up. And again, nothing about this pose, including the breath, should be laboured. So we don't need to be doing Ujjayi breath. We don't need to be forcing a deep breathing. We're basically just getting out of your own way in order to take the breaths that your body is designed to take. And if you like, we can keep that mantra with us in this pose here. So I am connected in love. I am connected in love. So from there, I'm going to just pop down again to show you what I mean if you're not sure. So we're going to draw the knees in. So now our cushions and supports can stay under here for now, it's fine. But we've got our knees bent and our feet to the mat. Head is heavy. Now we're going to take that position. So we've had our arms overhead, grabbing either elbow. We're now going to bring that up to this position. So elbows are in line with the shoulders. And super, super slowly and gently, just start to take your arms from side to side. Let your head go with that movement. And making that movement slow. So remembering this isn't a vinyasa class. It's not even a yin class. So there is no need to be moving quickly. All we're trying to do here is release that fascia on the back of the shoulders. And then come to center, take your other hand on top and continue to move from side to side. The head just gently rolling as you move. Minimum effort. And then back to center, reach the arms up and just slowly rotate through your wrists a few times each way. And then one by one, we're going to take the knees in towards us. So if you've got anything going on at the moment, which means you can't draw your legs in towards you, just rest them on your props. Absolutely fine to just stay there. If you can manage to, you can bring your knees in a little bit. But what I'd ask you not to do is pull them in a really extreme way. So just soft here and a little bit of rocking from side to side. So everything is with that sense of ease, that sense of slowness. Good job. Okay, from here, however you want to come up, so safest is to roll to the side and then bring yourself up. We're going to reorganize ourselves into a child's pose, and we're going to do this in a restorative way. So for this, you could just have your 2 pillows, your 3, 4, 5 pillows, however many you want to use is fine. There's lots of different ways that you can do this. You can have your 2 pillows stacked, and then we're going to lean forward. But you can also bring a pillow. This is my personal favourite. You can bring a pillow or a folded blanket to the back of your thighs. Take the knees wide. And for some people, it's going to be fine to just have maybe 1 or 2 pillows and to come all the way down. For other people, that is going to be too extreme. So what I'd invite you to do here is you can then take your, if you've got yoga blocks or books, or a yoga bolster is great for this. You can start to build a little platform for your pillow, so like a T with your blocks, and then 1 or 2 pillows onto the blocks, And then you can come forward, forearms to the mat, palms facing up, and then the head just turns to the side. Okay, so again, it's a very different experience to a hatha child's pose where we're coming all the way to the floor and we're pushing the hands and we're looking for that active stretch. Again, we're going back to that theme of restorative. It's about surrender and it's about letting yourself be held. So how could you make this pose more supported? How could you make it so it's the least amount of effort? And what I always say in my restorative classes is really allow yourself the time between each pose to faff. Okay, so we don't have to be in the next pose straight away. All of that time that you take to make yourself comfortable is a real act of self-love and self-care. And what we start to find, the more that we practice restorative yoga, the more that we get used to this attention to detail of thinking, actually, if I just put a blanket there, that would feel really lovely. Or if I just had a bit more support there, that would feel really beautiful. These habits will start to leak into your life where you're just starting to go, you know, instead of being here at my desk like this or scrunched up on the sofa, we start to remember what it feels like to be kind to our body. So this practice starts to be immersed into our life where we just start taking care of ourselves, taking care of this beautiful home that we live in. So once you've found that perfect for you child's pose, I invite you to close your eyes and really start to focus your breath now on the back of your body. So breathing to the space between your shoulder blades. And as you exhale, we're going to sigh the breath out the mouth. So we're going to inhale, the breath moves into the space between the shoulders. And as we exhale, we're going to sigh the breath out, letting go of tension through the jaw, through the face, through the shoulders. So again, focusing on that experience of surrender and letting your body get heavy, feeling the props coming up to support you. Let's go for maybe 4 to 5 more breaths here. Take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. And then start to bring yourself gently and slowly up and out of that position. Okay, if there's any little movements you want to do after that pose, so maybe just sitting up on the heels for a moment and give the shoulders a little roll. And also, if anybody can, just at this point, let me know if everything is still okay. I always get paranoid about halfway through a Facebook Live that my camera's stopped working and I'm speaking and I've got no idea that it's stopped. So yeah, if anyone can give me an emoji or something just to say all is well. my laptop's not always super in sync with what's going on. If not, I will just carry on and and I'll just hope that we're still doing okay. Yay, okay. Thank you. Lots of emojis. Oh, that's made me really happy. Okay, so next pose that we're going to do is, this is my kind of all-time favourite lower back release pose. So a lot of people have talked about this, either messaging me directly or things that I've seen people talking about online, but everyone's struggling with their lower back at the moment because, and myself included, we're now a lot of us are working from home, or we're just sitting more. So the lumbar spine, the lumbar vertebra is getting compressed. So this pose is my go-to pose for lower back discomfort. So again, we're going to use either 1 or 2 pillows. If you've got a yoga bolster, you could use that, but see how you get on. Sometimes it can be too tall, they can be too much for this pose. And we're actually going to come to lie down on our fronts, okay? So your pillows, 1 or 2, or rolled up blanket, you're going to bring them horizontally across your mat. What we're going to do is lie down with the front of our hip bones, so find those bones. We don't want this to be in our belly so much, we want it to be here at the front of the pelvis, okay? So when you're ready, and if you've got, so if you'll notice I've got a lot of padding because of my arthritis, and I should say as well, this is all fake, by the way, in case anybody is wondering if yes, no animals have suffered for this restorative class. It's all fake, but it's just nice support for underneath my joints. So if you need something for your knees when you're lying down on your front, just roll up a blanket and have it underneath your knees, or maybe at the front of your feet as well. So when you're ready, we're going to come down, front of the hips, onto that support, bring yourself down, crossing the forearms, and then again, head can go that way or it can go to the side. And just make sure, so for me that's too far up, so you just want to bring it down so that it's not, as I said, it's not going into your belly. It's that front of the pelvis. You may need to have a little rock from side to side. Good, and then when you're ready, we're going to lie down. Okay. So again, minimum effort here. Just let yourself soften into it. Sometimes a little support underneath the upper body can be helpful here as well. So another blanket, another cushion. And I really want you to focus on, so what this pose does, by bringing this support under the front of the pelvis, we start to create some beautiful, healthy space in the lumbar vertebra. And you may start to feel this sense of release and this sense of ease in your lower back. So as you breathe, can you breathe into that space to feel like you're sending your breath down into your lower back, breathing spaciousness and ease and softness into that part of the body. So particularly if you've really been struggling with that, can you send your breath there? And as you exhale, can you get heavy? So again, feeling that experience of the floor coming up to hold you in place. Okay, feeling free to take the head to the other side if that feels better for you, or just resting it straight down if that feels a little bit easier. And again, we can come back to our mantra, I am connected in love. I am connected in love. Relax your shoulders away from the ears. Again, focus on your jaw. Relax your jaw, and relax your forehead, behind the eyes. Perhaps noticing one thing that can come up for us in restorative yoga is the need to move on to the next thing. So if that's coming up for you, just acknowledge that in your mind and go, do you know, now is the time to rest. Now is the time to slow down. So you can almost say these things to yourself if you find your mind getting a little bit agitated. So being able to abide in that space between that lunar feminine quality of not knowing what the next thing is going to be. Just a few more breaths. Okay, so from there, just gently bring your hands underneath your shoulders. You can give your hips a little rock from side to side once again. And then push into the floor and just gently guide yourself back. So that we end up back up on our hands and our knees. And then from there, just take a little rock of your hips. So super, super gently, side to side. Any other movements that might be nice here, you can circle the hips if that feels good for you. So a few times each way. Lovely. And then back to neutral, just tucking the legs under. Okay, so from there, we're actually going to come back down onto our back. So we tend to not really stay up for very long in restorative yoga. So if you can have things that you can easily reach, so perhaps a block or 2 blocks and your trusty pillows once again. So we're going to come down onto our back, take your time. If you need to do anything, again, just honour your body and your intuition. If you need to do, a little bit of hip circling or side to side, just take your time. And then what we're going to do is come into a twist. So in a moment, when you're ready, we're going to take the right knee in and we're going to actually let ourselves roll all the way onto the left. So I'm picking my hips up, going onto the left hand side of that leg, and then we're going to use our block. So you might find that pillows is enough to bring the leg across, but for some people that's still not going to be enough, and there's going to be the space here. So you can take a couple of blocks, or you can make a block sandwich with your pillows and then bring the leg across like this. So again, we don't want any effort, we don't want to be holding that leg in place. And then just find the kindest thing for your shoulders is just to have this arm resting either on the ribs or around the front. This left arm is out onto the floor. If you want to make this a little bit more dynamic, you could twist and take the right arm out, but just be super, super careful. Any sense of pinching in the low back, the SI joint, any discomfort there, just bring yourself back around. And remember that this style of yoga is not one where we're chasing sensation. So the temptation might be to take that into a deep twist. But ask yourself, in this moment, in this style of yoga, is that what is going to serve you the best? Or could you perhaps back it off, do less in order to be more? So we want that top leg that right leg to just be super, super heavy. Again, bring your awareness to your breathing. With every exhale, can you allow again your body to just get heavier and heavier, surrendering, softening into that pose, that gentle twist. And focus less on the twist and more on this experience that we get in this pose down the side of the thighs. This is a really nice way to start releasing into the IT band, maybe a little bit into the glutes. So if there's any sort of stuff going on at the moment with sciatica, I've talked about stuff going on in the lower back, so IT band tightness contributes to lower back tightness. And sometimes what I'll actually do in this pose, while that leg is across and I've got the left arm out, I'll actually bring my hand and do some circular movements to the side of the thigh. So you're just helping to warm the fascia up, to help that soft tissue. And also sometimes it's just comforting. So particularly at the moment, and I am a massage therapist, so you can imagine I'm not working at the moment, but we might be really missing that sensation of touch actually. So just doing that action for yourself, like getting that proprioceptive feedback as well, like where your body is in space, and also physically helping your fascia. And then you might like to once again come back into stillness and just focus in on your breathing once again. Again, checking in with our mantra for this evening. I am connected in love. I am connected in love. Couple more deep breaths here. And then we're going to gently guide. So guide that leg back to center. And then just give it a little bit of a rock from side to side. Okay, and then from there, however you want to do this, I am very lazy when it comes to restorative yoga, so I'm always looking for how can I not have to come back up to sit in order to move my props to the other side. So I would normally just bend my knees in and somehow wriggle everything over to the other side. But if that is just making things complicated or you're getting stuck, just sit up for a moment, move things to the side, and then reset the pose on that side. I have seen people get into a few tangles doing that, including me. Okay, so then we're going to extend the right leg to the floor. You're going to hug your left knee in. Give it a little move just to start preparing that hip. And then we're going to take it across. Remember, we're going to lift up the right leg over to the side in order to let yourself come all the way over. That right arm can come down to the floor, and then you choose where you want that left arm to be. So it can rest onto your ribs. It can open out into more of that twist if that feels appropriate. Or you can use that hand to massage down the side of the leg, easing the fascia there. Again, finding your version of this pose. Closing the eyes and once again coming back to your breath. Inhaling for that space and then exhaling to find that sense of surrender, the body getting heavier as the props come up to hold your body in place. Again, relax your jaw. Can you relax the tops of the shoulders away from the ears? Just taking a few more breaths. Okay, and then gently guiding that leg back to center. You can just leave your props to that side for a moment, and again hugging that knee in, rocking a little bit from side to side. You can take that into circles. Okay, both knees in, another little move from side to side. Again, moving intuitively with your spine, with your low back, what it wants to do. And then we're going to take one more pose before Shavasana. So again, you might find you want to sit up for a moment to reposition your props. So we're going to do a chest opener using our pillows. So again, it depends on your thoracic capability, your thoracic flexibility. So meaning your upper back, okay? So if you know that there's not a lot of give there, there's not a lot of movement there, then keep your props low to the floor. So maybe one pillow or a folded up blanket, okay? Because obviously the more that we use, if you've got a yoga bolster, you're using 2 or 3 pillows, then it's just going to be quite an extreme back bend, and of course we want this to be restorative. So I'm going to go for 2 pillows, but like I said, please honour your body. And then what I do for me personally is have something to catch my head. And I like a block, but for a lot of people a block is too hard. So you choose something. So what I don't want you to be doing is to be in a back bend without your head in contact with the floor. So it's pretty much never really a good idea to do that in terms of holding and hanging the head back. Okay, so it's super stressful for your neck flexors and into your pectorals and everything here. So as you come back into your restorative back bend, the pillows are going to be lining up with the back of the shoulders. You can bend your knees as well, your legs don't have to be long. We're going to take the arms over and then allow your head to be caught by whatever it is, your block, your pillow, your rolled up blanket. Find a way for the arms to be that feels okay, and it may be that having them up and over is actually too strong and you want to rest them on your ribs, okay? So knees can be bent, feet could be together and have it as a goddess, reclining goddess again, or you can have your legs long and make it like fish pose. Okay, so again, the focus here is our rib cage and getting that breath moving through the chest. Sometimes this can feel quite intense just because we spend a lot of our life rounded forward, shoulders rounding over, so it can be quite intense to take that experience the opposite way. So like pad yourself up as much as you need to. And then breathe into those corners and those experiences of tension. See if again you can relax your jaw, relax the muscles of your face. And again, coming back to that mantra, I am connected in love. I am connected in love. Again, really enjoying that experience of space. Enjoying how it feels to breathe deeply. And enjoying that experience of being held by your props. So again, letting the body soften. Letting go of any sense of effort. Going to take a few more breaths there. So if it's getting too strong to have your arms overhead, remember you can drop them down and rest your hands on your ribs. That might actually be nice just for the final few breaths of this pose anyway. Okay, and then from there, so if you can just gently bring your knees in, hands are down on your ribs, and we're just going to tip over to whichever side feels easiest for you. Bring your palm to the mat or the floor and just sit yourself up for a moment, okay? And just come into a seated position, whatever works for you. Doesn't have to be cross-legged. We're going to be here for a moment or two anyway. I just want you to bring some movements to your shoulders after that chest opener. So just roll in the shoulders. And then taking the head, again, just nice and easy from side to side. And you may find that feels good to take it into some gentle semicircles. So we're only going to go forward and down and to the side. So try not to take the head back. But again, it's your body, it's your practice. So you just do what feels right for you. Good. And then gently bringing the head to neutral. Are we all okay? Send me some emojis. They're just fun when you do a Facebook Live and you can see people like something or love heart something. They all kind of float up and it looks really pretty. So yes, send some emojis. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move into final resting pose. So moving back into Shavasana. Thank you for the emojis. Okay, so final resting pose. You guys choose what you would like to do. So you could come back down to lying with those pillows behind your knees. I would recommend that if you've got low back stuff going on. But you could also just be as is, with the body completely flat to the mat. You could bend your knees, walk them wide, knock your knees together. You can even roll to the side. So if you are recovering from anything at all, like, dare I say, colds, flus, whatever you may have been experiencing, if you've had anything sort of chest related, dry cough, anything like this, lying on your back might aggravate this. So you might find you want to lie on your side just to ease that experience so you're not coughing through your Shavasana. Okay, so I'll leave you to find how you want to be. Just going to move that out that way. Anything extra that you have, so if you want to bring, I'm actually really warm because the weather has been glorious, but if you want to bring a blanket on top of your body, that can be really nice just for the weight of it. It has this really calming effect on the nervous system just to have that weight of a blanket. So grab whatever you need, maybe an eye pillow if you have one, and get yourselves comfortable. I shall have a look at your comments. Okay, so again, if you've got music on in the background, so we can't always play music because of copyright stuff, but if you've got your own music that you can put on, just something really soothing and relaxing that you can listen to, or you might just like to listen to the sounds in your environment. Oh yeah, like that. Your mum's fast asleep. That's great. Okay, so when you're ready, closing your eyes, and I want us again to take a deep breath in together, in through the nose, and then a big exhale out the mouth. 2 more like that, breathing in and out. And then last one, and really let it go. So exhale completely, and then find some stillness. So closing the mouth. Let your breath now just breathe you, so we don't need to be controlling the breath in any way. Just let the breath do its natural thing. And again, I want you to focus on those 2 experiences. So your body getting heavy as the floor feels as if it's coming up to support you and hold you in place, and allow yourself to be held. Allow yourself to rest. So whatever type of yoga that we are practicing, we are always using movement as a way to find stillness. Sometimes that's dynamic, it's a strong vinyasa practice, Eileen's favourite. Sometimes it's yin, or it's restorative, or it's hatha. But what we're always trying to achieve, and this is why we talk about this so often, that it's not about the asana, it's not about the pose, it's about what we are trying to do with those poses, with those sequences. And we're always journeying back to peace. So the physical yoga poses, when they were originally created, they were just meant to be a tool, an aid to help people sit in meditation for long periods of time, so that they could gain mastery over their mind. So it's always really important to come back to that intention time and time again. Whenever you meet the mat, whether you're doing a vinyasa, you're doing restorative, you're doing yoga nidra, it's saying to yourself, I'm just here to find stillness. I'm just here to find my version of peace, my experience of peace. this way, it really doesn't matter what it looks like. What is important is how it feels. How does it feel? You can ask yourself here at the end, how do you feel? How do you feel? Do you feel like you've taken yourself on this journey to stillness, on this journey to peace and calm? I was going to read a different poem, but I actually would prefer to share a small Buddhist poem to finish with this evening. So if you want to rest your hands somewhere onto your body once again. So this poem is one of my favourites, and I heard it in a yoga class actually, and I just love, love, love it. So the poem is: breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Breathing in, I dwell in the present moment. Breathing out, this is a wonderful moment. So one more time, breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Breathing in, I dwell in the present moment. Breathing out, this is a wonderful moment. From there, beginning to bring movement to fingers, to toes. Taking a full body stretch when you're ready. Guiding the knees in towards you, have a little rock from side to side, however you want to move, honouring that intuitive part of yourself. And then when you're ready, you're going to come up to seated. So I'm trying, I'm in the process of trying to be on time, actually to finish a minute early, just so we've got time to put ourselves in position to go and clap for the NHS at 8 o'clock. But just for a moment, let's sit together. Let's draw the palms of the hands together into Namaskar Mudra, that prayer position at the front of our heart space. Bowing forehead to fingertips, closing the eyes, coming back to our mantra from this evening. I am connected in love. So I invite you all, as we move through the next few days and weeks, to try and stay in the light, to hold the light, to be that light that you wish to see in the world, to be an embodiment of loving kindness. We try our best to not judge others, to be accepting and forgiving and understanding, and just saying to yourself when we're interacting with people, and now a lot of that is online and there's a lot of stuff online, lots of differing points of view, to just keep coming back to this mantra, I am connected in love. And always remember that people, including yourself, including myself, we're just trying the best we can with what we have. That's all we can do, it's all we can ask of each other, it's all we can ask of ourselves, okay? So let us cut ourselves some slack, let's cut each other some slack and be that light. So thank you so much for practicing with me. It's an absolute honour to be back at Yogalicious in the virtual sense. I hope I can be back there physically really soon as well. And thanks to Eileen for just being there every day with her loving energy. I think she's a real gift. So let's go and clap for the NHS if you so wish, and have a beautiful, restful, peaceful evening, and I will see you guys soon. Alright, thank you so much. Namaste. Bye everybody, thank you. Now I have to work out how to turn my video off, which is always a good laugh.